Hi everyone, today I've got Debbie Wolfendale from Dermaclinical chatting to me. Debbie is the CEO and owner of Dermaclinical, which is a brand I've been working with for the last 4 years and who are making incredible headway in the pigmentation world. Pigmentation being hyperpigmentation, discoloration of the skin, and quite a difficult thing to treat. There's a lot of solutions out there, but there's always huge headway happening, and Debbie really is the guru in this. So I've brought her along today to update us as to what's happening in the pigmentation world. So Debbie, in your opinion, what are the causes of pigmentation? And the burning question is, can pigmentation be cured?
Dottie, the answer is no, it can't be cured. It's something that you have to manage for life. Our pigmentation is set down as early as 5 weeks when we're a tiny little cell in our mom's tummies. So it's really early. So what we have is what we've got. Causes, obviously, the biggest cause is sun, but there are so many pathways that cause pigmentation, and it's difficult to just use sunscreen and expect that to be the be-all and end-all of treating it. There's so many. It could be inflammation from the diet. It could be damage on the skin area. It could be post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. There's so many little gateways that we have to look at. You can go as far as actually looking into the liver to see what it is that's creating that pathway to having pigmentation on the skin. So there's many. We have to deal with each pathway in order to really manage it well.
But and I must say that does resonate for me, because for the way I treat anything in life is always a two-pronged approach, from the inside and the out. But so on the pigmentation side of it, what in your opinion are the most important things to consider? And obviously each person is different. So in other words, what we're sharing with you today is general, and for each individual you would need a consultation with me, and it can be in person or it can be on Zoom. I can bring Debbie in as well, we can do it as a joint thing, but I do think it's important that you get the correct information.
That's right, because there's so many different types of pigmentation. You have some ladies who really just have a tonal issue and they'd like to blend out the skin, and it requires, that is an epidermal issue or a surface skin issue. But then we get other women who have been over years dealing with real melasma, which are the real deep, defined, dark patches on the skin. They could have been created hormonally, or for whatever one of the other pathways that we've been dealing with. That's called melasma, and that really needs a much bigger consult and a much longer scenario. So we work in a four-pronged approach. Just like a table, you would need the 4 legs. The gut we sort out, because very often inflammation is happening there. We definitely work with home care, which you're a specialist in. There are some clinic treatments that can be done, but there's a lot of clinic treatments that should not be done, and this is something we would like to manage with the patients that you have. And the fourth thing is of course the supplementation that's required to manage it long term.
Absolutely. And what about, Deb, as far as people who've done a lot of pigmentation treatments on their skin? Can you still treat a skin, or does it get to a stage where it's over-processed?
You can't over-process. I think that there are some ingredients on the market, specifically prescribed by doctors, that really have to be taken care of. Nothing wrong with the ingredient, but when used for too long a term, we can get a kind of a damage that is irreversible. So when it comes to the type of ingredients that you use, don't be gung-ho and just throw something on your skin thinking that this is the fix. Really seek advice. I would really suggest that your patients come to you, chat to you. I'm very happy to do the Zoom day with you if people have got questions, just to go a bit deeper with it. It's I would say 90% of the South African consumer has pigmentation at some point that they need to handle. So it is a big subject, and we do have the answers. We just need to manage it well.
And of course the hormonal thing definitely exacerbates it. So at what age do you think one should start considering treating pigmentation? Do you think you have to wait to a certain age, or is it start as soon as we can?
When you're faced with the issue is when you can deal with it. It doesn't matter what your age is. If you are 13 and you have pimples and you sit and pick them and you sit and bruise the skin, you're going to have something called post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. And in darker skins, unfortunately, that stays for a long time, becomes scar tissue. So if that happens at the age of 13, so be it. Let's deal with it then. So it's not an age-related issue. It's an issue-related issue. And if it happens at 13 or 30 or 40 or 80, we can handle it at that point. We're dealing with mechanisms of the skin, not what your age is at that time.
Absolutely. And there's no doubt that it affects all skin types, all ages. So pigmentation, if you're suffering from pigmentation, it is really important to treat the cause of it, not just keep covering it up, because obviously you can try and cover it up with makeup, but at the end of the day it's important to treat the cause. So in summary, Debs, what would you say would be the most important things for an individual to consider as far as treating pigmentation?
Okay, without a doubt, sunscreen of a very good quality. You represent some great sunscreen brands. So you have to do an SPF 50 every single day. It's not a debate. Sunscreen is an absolute have to. Secondly, we've got to make sure that our skin's in a healthy condition. If you've got a poor skin condition, you have the situation where the skin is trying to protect itself, so it's going to pump out pigment, because pigmentation is in fact a protective mechanism of the body. So we've got to keep the skin in good condition, and I know that we think the same on this.
Absolutely.
Healthy skin first pretty much handles whatever else you're dealing with. So that's that. There are beautiful products that we have in our range that have been brought over by labs who concentrate and do all research and development on pigmentation. Those are one-stop shops as well when it comes to pigmentation issues. So those three things: home care product, which is great, making sure that the skin is in a healthy condition, and that unfortunately starts with cleanser, because if you are really using a detergent-based type cleanser and ripping off the surface of the skin, you're never going to fix a pigmentation issue. And as we say, sunscreen is it. So if you have to do three things, it's going to be those three things.
Absolutely.
And watch inflammation, not only from a body perspective, but also on the surface. And we have the I4 Medical Mist to do just that.
I must say, I am addicted to that product. I have been using the I4 Medical Mist for so many conditions besides pigmentation. With even eczema, we've had the most incredible results.
Yeah.
And dermatitis,
psoriasis,
acne. It is remarkable. So in summary, I think if you're battling with pigmentation, if you need more information, please contact me. You can go into my website, which you know the link, www.drmilton.co.za. You can go in there, you can go and look at all the different products, but I think the most important thing is to understand what is key for you and what do you need to bring into your regime. You don't have to change everything all at the same time. It doesn't have to be a huge expense, but I do think you need the right ingredients to help your skin condition. And it will take a little while, but so obviously I can teach you cover-up techniques to give you confidence and to
in the interim.
Yeah, exactly. But I do think it's important to look at the cause.